Welcome to another Cup of Joe. I'm your host, Joe Tumalo. Enjoying your cup of coffee this morning with a guest, with a friend, Bob Duckworth, a new friend. Welcome, Bob.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Bob I just learned, is from the coast of Georgia. I didn't even know Georgia had a coast.
Yeah, we have a new test for checking for sharks. It's a highly skilled spoon. You dip the spoon in the water and taste it. If it tastes like salt, there's probably sharks.
That's great. Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you. Bob is with NPAC. That's N as in non, P as in profit, ACT, NPAC.
Yeah.
And a blackballed Razor's Edge guru. I mean, smart guy. We've had some conversations. We all know that any software, any program, any sector, the technology today is so advanced that probably most of us use 10% of what is there. I'm guessing. You would know, being the expert, right?
Right. Yeah, I hear that all the time. People say they've got a strong machine, but they're only using 10 to 50% of it.
Yeah. So we're going to give you guys now I'm a Philly guy, so I'm saying I'm going to give you guys 3 videos in this series to give you some ideas. First of all, maybe some things you're not thinking about. Bob and I were talking about, it's like, you know what? Yeah, I never really, why am I doing that? Why? There's got to be a more efficient way to do this, to keep track of my pipeline, my donors, my prospects. How are we making sure that things are either staying in motion? What's the old things in motion, things in motion stay in motion, things at rest stay at rest. Isaac Newton, right?
Right.
So the first topic today, and Bob was kind enough to write out a great outline to help guide the conversation. And the first takeaway in today's topic, I started asking him about, you can track your list in a notebook, on an index card, or in Excel, but Razor's Edge or any CRM is way better, right? We know that, Bob. But like I know, and most of my work right now is doing direct donor work. So I will, and most of my clients have RENXT. I will admit, I will take out our top donors, I'll create a list and I'll do it in Excel, and I'll use Excel to track my activity, because I just feel like, okay, RENXT feels so overwhelming, but if I can just, who are my top 25? Who are my top 50? In Excel, boom, I'm picking up the phone to call donors. I see it right there. And then I'll put a note in the comment section, see RENXT. I know that's stupid.
Yeah.
Or not efficient, I should say.
Yeah.
Am I the only one doing that, Bob?
Everyone still does that. Yeah, it's pretty common. And I still do that. I've got spreadsheets, and then I want to mark it up every once in a while, like we all do. So I'll print it out on the printer and mark it up. 20 years ago, I was director of development for the School of Business, and I worked with a great dean, and he pulled something out of his pocket one day. He had this index card, and he took notes on it. And he said, I learned this from somebody, and I learned it from him. And we can keep our portfolio, or top 10, whatever it is. But Razor's Edge is a great place to keep our lists. I've been using Razor's Edge since DOS. 29 years ago, and I've gone through all the iterations. And now with NXT, there's a great place for planned gift officers and major gift officers to go into a work center to see their list.
Okay, and how would we do that?
Yes. So any CRM, it's probably not just Razor's Edge. You'd make yourself the solicitor or the fundraiser on individual or organization records, and that begins the beginning of a list. So you can have a portfolio of 20 or 120. I don't know what the right number is now. You know, I think it used to be 150. I'm seeing that number get smaller now. You know, it's difficult to get out and visit with people. So I don't know how many moves per month or moves per year is the right metric. So let's say you've got a list of 100 people, and you can easily see that in Razor's Edge. And you know what, Joe? You don't have to be in Razor's Edge anymore on the computer. You can look it up on your phone.
I keep forgetting about that, but I haven't really been traveling, but certainly, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone does everything on their phone in the morning. Think about the things that you do before work. You're checking the weather. You're checking texts from people. You're checking anything on your computer, the personal activity. And then when you're ready to work, you don't have to be tethered to your computer. You pull up a Razor's Edge on your phone. You don't have to fool around with all the other reporting stuff. You just go to your work center and you look at your list and you look at any activities on your list that you need to attend to. So Razor's Edge NXT now is going to notify you of someone on your list that's going to have a birthday coming up in 2 weeks. It's going to let you know if they scored higher on wealth screening. It's going to let you know if you haven't contacted them in 90 days.
So it's not static. I mean, I think of it as here's the static information when I pull up a donor record, and if I want anything more real time, that I have to go to the database manager and ask them to run a report.
Right.
But it feels like there is more functionality there that would allow me to see more real time today. And the date of this recording is Monday, August 1st. But to say, okay, that's a living, breathing thing, not just some static thing that nobody has touched in 3 months.
Yeah, I think you said it the right way. It's very dynamic. So it refreshes overnight. So whatever happened, let's say you'd probably know if someone on your list made a gift, but if you missed it and they just made a small gift or they registered for an event, you may want to know about that. That's going to show up in your work center. All 100 people, if you got 100 people, are going to show up. You just click a button and you get to look at everyone. All the things to do, all of your actions, your future actions are going to show up there. And if you put any proposals or opportunities for your people, that your whole pipeline is going to show up there. It's a great way to look at your list.
So the key is the work center.
Yes.
Yeah. And I will admit, I don't know that I've been using that, or most of the people I'm working with are using that.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem.
Yeah,
it's a hidden gem. I talk about it all the time.
Cool. So takeaway for our audience, listeners, subscribers, if whether it's Razor's Edge or not, but if it is Razor's Edge, there is a work center. Be aware of it. I assume they can call. I mean, that's what you guys do, right? But they can call Blackbaud initially, or how would that work?
Yeah, to get training on it.
Yeah, or at least, yes. Like, how do I find it? First of all, let me see if I can figure out it on my own, and if I can't, then I'll call somebody.
Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. You can look up in the on the help desk for Razor's Edge to learn more about it.
Okay.
We talk about it all the time. I have webinars once a month. I talk about it all the time. And it's so much quicker. So I still hear even today, the back office folks that support the frontline fundraisers, they get phone calls from those people say, can you look up so-and-so? And they can do it right on the phone. It's so much quicker.
Cool. And so quick plug here, you have a monthly webinar?
Yes, monthly, second Wednesday of every month at 1 o'clock Eastern.
And how would people get on the mailing list?
Yes, they can visit impact.com and go to events, and they can register for an event right there. Okay,
awesome. And a quick plug for what you do, Bob, how you help the problem you fix for nonprofit, for fundraising.
Yeah, we call it consulting for optimizing Razor's Edge. We start with an assessment typically. Oftentimes when we come in, the chief advancement officer has an inherited Razor's Edge. And sometimes they inherited some data problems and some user problems and some best practice problems. They're not great problems. They're all fixable. So we come in and, because we've been doing this for a very long time, let them know what things that they can do to improve, clean up some code tables, clean up the building blocks of Razor's Edge. And then we address the items that they want fixed and to help them do better at fundraising so they can support their mission.
Awesome. And how would people get in touch with you, Bob? Email address, cell phone number?
Sure. Yep. Cell phone number is 843-670-9252. I'm B Duckworth, DUCKWORTH at impact.com.
Awesome. And again, that's npact.com. Bob, thank you. Bob will be back for another session here at Cup of Joe with guests. I've been your host. I am still your host, Joe Tumalo, CEO of Major Plan Giving Development. If you feel like, boy, we have so much potential with plan giving, but no plan, nobody's really paying attention to it, we are committed to getting started with this or really restarting our program and want help, please give us a call. 610-653-7906. Our website, npgdevelopment.com. And as always, thank you to ThankView, our sponsor, who helps us put these videos out. If you're not familiar with ThankView, it's a real simple, very affordable way to deliver very personalized videos to your donors and prospects. Check them on out. Until next time, all the best. Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.